What's up, beautiful people? It's your boy Judeo, and I'm back again with a new video. Today we're going to be checking out one of my favorite people to watch, and this is JP. The name of the channel is Awaken with JP. Today the video we're going to be checking out is titled "What Science Class in 2022 is Like, What Your Kids Are Learning." Okay, let's see what your kids are learning. Hopefully this is not true. Let's just hope this is not actually what they're learning, because I know it's going to be amusement mixed with some kind of like societal criticism, or should I say necessary criticism. But yeah, without wasting your time, let's get to it.
Welcome to science class. Today we're going to learn the science of where babies come from. Now, back in primitive civilization, when we thought the earth was round, it was believed that only women had babies. But now, through modern advancements in human civilization, we know the earth is flat and that babies come from men. With all these men having babies, we're going to have to get men into having abortions soon, because they're just populating the planet too much. And a man's right to choose has been oppressed by misogynistic women making everything about their right to choose. Now, here's how it works. When a man and a woman, or a man and another man, come together, they make a baby. Isn't it that you need both a man and a woman to have a baby? Because men have the sperm that then fertilizes the woman's egg? No. That's just medical misinformation being spread by Joe Rogan. You see, it's just like the only way to make water is to combine two hydrogen molecules with one oxygen molecule. But let's say you don't have any hydrogen molecules. Can you still make water? No. Incorrect. Even if you don't have any hydrogen, a vital component of water, you can still make water with only oxygen.
How?
If you want it to be water. Because science. But wouldn't that just be air? No, it's water. Why are you being water phobic, you little misogynistic brat? But it doesn't make sense. It's not actually water. Oh, well,
But actually, if you think about it, this is how lots of people see things these days. In fact, they project this kind of, or they portray this kind of information, or relay this kind of information, and when you argue about it, or when you ask questions, they call you a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, I've been hearing conspiracy theory and propagandist. I think that's the new word people are using right now. I don't know what any of that means, but yeah, this is not far from the truth. That's what I'm saying.
you know what would make sense? How about I go on Twitter and cancel you to help you understand the science? Do you think that would help? And that is part of the scientific method. Now, a person can't get pregnant until they begin menstruating, which clearly men do. It's called getting your period. Most boys begin menstruating between the ages of 10 and 13. And when they do, I'm 15 and I haven't got my period yet. Is there something wrong with me? Oh, wow. Probably. You might have some kind of reproductive disorder or something. You'll probably want to have your gynecologist check you out. But when your period does come, blood and stuff will come from this general area, specifically your uterus, which for men is also the same thing as your small intestine.
He's confusing me. Your uterus is the same thing as your small intestine. Jeez, he's confusing me now. JP, what's going on?
But when your period does come, blood and stuff will come from
here,
this general area, specifically your uterus, which for men is also the same thing as your small intestine. From there, shedding your uterine lining causes blood to leak out. Where's the blood leak out of? Yeah, right. It comes right out of the man's vagina, right between his scrotum and his anus. I don't even think I have a vagina down there. How am I ever going to get my period? Well, do you ever get bloody noses? Well, sometimes if I'm playing football or wrestling and I get hit in the face. Well, there you go. Yours just comes out of your nose. That's your period. Now, to keep from getting period blood everywhere, you'll want to wear a maxi pad. For boys having trouble getting...
It's over. Like, this is it. This is it.
their period for whatever reason, you can eat a bunch of beets and then look in the toilet after you poop. That's also your period. I heard my dad listening to Dr. Robert Malone discussing science on a podcast, and he said with a jab, you need to be... Stop it! Stop it right now! Don't you ever interrupt science class again with medical misinformation while I'm teaching about how men get pregnant. I don't think men can get pregnant. I mean, I'll have my dad come in and talk to you about it. So your dad's a domestic terrorist. If he steps foot near the school, I'll have him arrested. Now, the vast majority of scientific discoveries during the last century have been made by Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, and Stephen Hawking, but mostly CNN. Next, we're going to cover what's called natural immunity. It does not exist. Any questions before we move on? Now, collaboration and discussion around scientific theories and data is an important part of making scientific advancements. So when someone has an opposing theory, especially one backed by evidence and objective numbers, the scientific method requires you to hysterically scream at them, accusing them of being a science denier. And even at times, threatening them is an advanced form of scientifically analyzing their data. Like, for example, Ralph. Do you remember how you were just talking about Dr. Malone? Yes? Well, for doing so, I'm going to kill you and your family. Now, Ralph, do you still believe that Dr. Malone is a valid source of information that you should be listening to? I guess not. Isn't that just mean? Science! When beginning a scientific study, a scientist should always ask itself, who's funding the study? What do they want to find? And what do they want to hide? And then you go about scientifically creating those results so you can get paid. Now, when doing science, some science could reveal things that you don't want to be correct. Then, in the name of good science, you censor those things. Out of all the fields in science, biology, chemistry, astronomy, censorship is the most widely used one today. Now, what is the most common factor that makes science change? Yes. Increased atmospheric pressure? No. Low numbers at the polls? Yes, exactly. When elections are coming up and polls are down, the science completely changes. Physics completely go out the window and the law of gravity no longer exists, which isn't surprising because gravity...
If you're uneasy, please don't watch this video like this. This is the height of confusion. Like, if kids are learning this in school, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry for the next generation. This is not even this. If kids are learning like 0.001% of what he just said in school, like a little bit of what he's saying, if kids are learning that in school, the next generation is gonna be messed up. I just have to say it.
Is just a social construct. Now, this is...
Let's take it right back. I'm sorry for stopping the video, but there's no way I can just speed through this.
Elections are coming up and polls are down. The science completely changes. Physics completely go out the window. The law of gravity no longer exists, which isn't surprising because gravity is just a social construct. Now, this is the science. Now, class, if you'll excuse me, I've got to go take a pregnancy test because I'm 32 years late getting my period. I hope this is the time. Real quick, I would love to invite you to join me on my Awaken Warrior newsletter list. It's a way for us to ensure we stay connected despite its censorship.
Okay, I'll put the link to the original video in case you want to go see the ads and what he's talking about. So please feel free to check him out. The name of the channel is awakenwithjp, and I'll put the link to the original video we just saw in the description so you can check that out as well. Anyways, that was a very crazy video, highly exaggerated, but it has a pinch of truth. You know, in a society like this, we don't really have a lot of people speaking up and, you know, trying to create sensitive, should I say, sensitive content. So we need people like this to help, even though it's exaggerated, but we need the conversation out there. We need people like this. We need comedians, people to just put information out there. I'm not saying he's a comedian. I'm just saying we need people like him and also comedians, because comedians are like the only other people that can relay information, and even though it's something valid, you find it amusing, and then you now think about it and be like, oh shit, this is actually true, you know. So yeah, I respect what he's doing. I'm always going to watch his content. I love his work, and let me know what you guys think. You know, if that was too intense or too exaggerated, let me know in the comment section. But I believe there's a pinch of truth to what he's saying. I believe, because I don't know, most of his contents come from real occurrences, and he tends to like exaggerate and add amusement to it, but he picks some kind of like points from what is really happening around us. So if you think this is completely false, let me know why. If you think this is true all the way, let me know why. If you think there's a pinch of truth in it, also share your thoughts in the comment section. Anyways, I had a good time watching that one. I had a good life. I'm leaking. My nose is leaking right now. I also have to go and check my pregnancy or do my pregnancy test. You know, who knows, I might be pregnant. Please smash the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a very beautiful day. Peace.